Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Arnie Diaz Show. Today's show, a review of 10,000 Years of Longing by George Miller. George Miller is a legend of a filmmaker who has done movies spanning decades. Most notably, the Mad Max franchise, with the latest movie, Fury Road, birthing a prequel, Furiosa, that is coming out later next year. This is a movie that he's doing between Fury Road and Furiosa. It is also notable to state that he actually also made a couple kids' movies that were fully CGI, the seminal Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2. To say the least, George Miller is a very interesting filmmaker. George Miller has done really well for himself by making really inventive genre movies. And this is no different. It is a very inventive film, starring Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. The film follows a literist, Tilda Swinton, who finds herself in the presence of a real genie, and a journey of love and story begin. There is some incredible imaginative storytelling. There is some incredibly imaginative CG work here that rivals some of the stuff that he did in Mad Max Fury Road. On a technical level, it is really, 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 really wonderful to look at. It's also a story that I really haven't heard George Miller tell. It is a far more smaller movie in that a lot of the movie does take place in one location, but you are given these vignettes, and each of these vignettes tell the story of the genie throughout time and the relationships he has had with the people who have opened up his bottle and desired the three wishes. I think Idris Elba is almost perfect in this role. The way he delivers prose in this movie is magnificent, and you're kind of with him throughout the entire thing. Miller does this thing with the stories where he incorporates Idris Elba actually speaking to Tilda Swinton and then moving the camera into the actual world and time that the genie is talking about and showing you the story that is unfolding. This movie is part book in that way. The script itself does read as a work of literal fiction. I think people who are avid book readers will really appreciate that. Much of this movie is a love letter to story in and of itself. Tilda Swinton plays this kind of meek but very educated literist who understands story, and because of that, kind of fight at the desire to make wishes with this genie. But she is enthralled by the stories the genie has to tell. And they are imaginative stories that I think are the best part of this movie. The first two acts are really, truly filled with just such wonderful straw pulling, just clear-cut, understandable stories that are told to both memorize and to endear the audience to the genie. Idris Elba's performance and delivery is just perfect. The man is a great storyteller, and he's not too bad to look at as well. And with George Miller's incredible use of CG that is like a work of art in this movie, it really does come together to this kind of like big whimsical fairy tale that is put together by a story that I feel is a little weak. And by that I mean it falls a little flat towards the very end. The third act is a little rushed, and the way that the relationships kind of unfold doesn't really sing truthful to me. I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say that the story does really revolve around Tilda Swinton's character and Idris Elba's genie character really getting to know each other. You can infer what you want from the rest of that. I think my biggest criticism of the movie is the fact that Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba just don't have a lot of chemistry. I like their individual characters. Tilda is very good at playing a well-spoken, mild-mannered, educated woman that has a real opinion that is not very good about the way genies treat the people that open them up into the world and demand wishes. But I think it falls flat, but I really do think that her performance, but I really do think that the film falls flat for the biggest reason because her and Idris Elba just don't have a palpable chemistry throughout the film. This film is about them. They are the principal characters, and I do like them both individually, but I think I just personally didn't feel their connection. And I think that the movie does a lot to try to trigger that connection out of you, but I don't think it actually succeeds in the end. I give 10,000 Years of Longing a solid 7.5 out of 10. A truly wonderfully made film that is augmented by Idris Elba's wonderful storytelling and George Miller's beautiful use of CG. It simply falls flat to me because I think Tilda Swinton does a wonderful job in this role. I don't think that she has much chemistry with Idris Elba. And I think that is what this movie needed more than anything. And if I had seen that, I think the ending would have worked a lot better for me. A great, wonderful film that has some credible stories, but ultimately falls a little flat in the end. Thank you so much for watching.